Welcome to Inner Peace Arts Unscripted. I'm your host, James Coleman. I'm a writer. I write at innerpeacearts.wordpress.com. Check it out. Check it out on Facebook at Inner Peace Arts 1. Twitter, Inner Peace Arts 1. It's Inner Peace Arts 1 word with the number 1 at the end. Today I want to talk quickly about self-control. And this is a very old idea, and one that I had known was important years ago, and would stress to people, oh, self-control is everything. Self-control is everything. And over the years I've realized, well, one, I was right, but I had never actually done it. And so that's something we want to mention here, is knowing something, being able to tell somebody that it's right, the right thing to do, and actually doing it are completely different things. Completely. And now that I'm doing it, I realize how much I wasn't able to do it back then. It wasn't that I wasn't trying, I just wasn't able. I didn't have the tools, didn't have the perspective, didn't have whatever I needed to actually practice a kind of self-control that was programmed in, and I could see the results of that programming. So the thing about self-control is that it's part of a suite, and that's really the thing that I want to mention here in talking about self-control. It's part of a suite of skills. Awareness is a skill, right? Being able to actually execute changes is a skill. Being able to decide what should stay and what should go are all skills, and they all work together. So there's no one ring to rule them all, as they would say. The only ring that rules them all is whatever you call that ultimate decision maker within you. That's the only ring. Everything else is networked ideas. And self-control it's one of the big ones. And it entails being able to stop, start, and continue according to some agenda. It's about being able to set an agenda. It's about being able to see a situation. Let's say it's a situation where you know you have made a mistake. Well, fix the mistake. Oftentimes we make a mistake and go, oh, I just don't want to deal with it, or oh, I'll deal with it later. And the fact of the matter is, you need to deal with it now and make those changes so that you can, get whatever it is that you want to get. And self-control can't be executed to the point where you're actually not getting anything done. Like, that's too much. So there's balance, and balance is another skill. So you see all these skills that we're pointing at here. Maybe that's more what this video is about, less about self-control and more about seeing and identifying all the little skills. I call them MicroSkills. They're really not micro at all, but they're underneath. They're those things that, you wonder, how is that person able to get all that stuff done? It's because they have mastered all these micro as well as the macro domain. I can throw a football, or I can play chess, or whatever. But there's all these other factors that go into it that I don't think are I don't think there's a lot of training for those specifically. I mean, they're implied in the training when you're doing the domain training. But, specifically about balance, like, what is that? I mean, how do you even train for that, right? So that's some of the things that I think about. And back on self-control. And self-control is something where, you have to be able to let go of those feelings, thoughts that are not helpful, right? That's part of self-control. Not sticking to something when it shouldn't be stuck to. So that's it. That's all I wanted to really share on self-control. It's important. It's part of a suite of skills. It's, like I said, it's important. And it's not to be underestimated. And, but it's also something that you grow into. And as you gain all these other skills around it, you will find that it's good once you get to this place. At least I can say where I've come now, where there's a kind of self-control that, it's like I know I'm doing the best that I can and moving forward with what I have with the most awareness that I can, and sitting down, and when I'm having trouble, it's like, okay, I recognize I'm having trouble and use tools to move it forward as opposed to just being frustrated. That's a sign of self-control. This is James Coleman. Write me at innerpeacearts@protonmail.com. It's a encrypted, secure email service out of Switzerland. I like them. Check me out on Facebook, Twitter, innerpeacearts.wordpress.com, and I hope you're having a fantastic, fantastic day. Take care.